South trying to talk to Mark Ellis and he said he had a fractured cheekbone.
Well, here he is with the ball now. Talk about John Sattler in 1970. We've got, I think, something similar here.
He leaves and doesn't come back, we're in massive trouble here because he's obviously our spiritual leader. I was like,
he goes, my face is fucked, like, I need you. I was like, I just felt this rush of energy when he told me. I was like, I got you, brother, whatever you need, brother.
My main focus was, can I do my job? And am I going to let the side down? So I thought, well, best not waste any time.
Reynolds to put a kick, a banana kick in, and Williams is taken down by George and Sam Burgess. Well, if he's got a broken cheekbone, it's not that apparent that he's talking and he's hitting hard.
Yeah, it was pretty painful, but I felt I could do my job. And whilst ever I could do my job, I was never going to leave the field. I just would never want to let my side down. So, you know, after a certain period of time, it becomes irrelevant. The pain became irrelevant.
And I think he just thought, screw it. He should start coming in and carrying the footy. So when you're one of his teammates and you realise the injury he's got, the enormity of the moment, and he's gone, whatever, I'm just going to get the footy, and he started carrying it, it kind of inspired everyone.
Well, me and Bentia had a great relationship. You know, we were both going to rugby union. He'd just come off a lengthy suspension. So he was on the bench against the Roosters, and we all know the game. You know, but his first involvement, he came on and James Maloney was on the ground. He picked him up double-handed and slammed him down on the ground, and I think we were down 12 at the time. I remember saying to him, like, pull your head in, like, what are you doing? And he turned around at me, his eyes were bulging out of his head, and he was salivating at the mouth. And I thought he was going to say, shut up, Sam. But he just looked at me so powerfully, and he just said, I'm here for you today, brother. I'm here for you. And I was just blown away by it. I've never been as touched on a field by it, because it came from such a deep place in his body. I could feel it, and I remembered how it made me feel. So in the grand final, I used it on a couple of players. Yeah, I'm not in a great spot, but I'm here for you. I'll get the job done.
Now for Sam Burgess, stepping, and he's close to the line. Now David Clemmer. Burgess goes in and hits him low with, I don't know whether it was him on his shoulder.
Blood was coming out his mouth, his ears, his nose. He didn't want to come off.
Johnson, the proud Rabbitoh himself, the local junior who has waited so long for this moment.
That's history. Tio is over. He's gone through the air like Superman.
Unstoppable!
It's a fantastic story for many people.
Let's do this!
Coruscant, 20 metres out, and from Keary.
I should have scored the first try.
Come across for Reynolds to set himself. He kicks down towards the upright. Perrett's underneath it, takes it safely. And eventually Perrett will be tackled about 10 metres out from his line. Loses the ball. South played the advantage. Here's Dylan Walker. Here's Lottie to Keary. Lottie to Keary. He scores! He scored the first try in 2000 playing for Brisbane in that grand final 14 years ago, and I think he scored the first try 14 years later playing for South against Canterbury.
And most importantly, Shane Hayne thinks that as well.
With Perrett obviously hit high, South Sydney fans would be hard to convince that it is high. Let's see what the decision is. No try, it'll be a penalty.
I felt flat at that time after that no try. But then to obviously see him and see what he was going through, well, if he's doing it tough, you know, I'm doing it easy, so.
Probably was unaware until we got to a scrum.
You know, we'd always share a couple of words, a couple of pleasantries during games. But in the grand final, it was the only time he's ever had a moment of concern for me. We got to a scrum.
Sam, I think you need to go off. You've got to face like a drop pie.
And I told him to get fucked. Who thinks of that line in the middle of a grand final? And I had a little chuckle internally, but I didn't show him much. And you know, I just bit down in the mouth guard, and I thought, well, let's go.
Here he is again, Sam Burgess, and they're good meters, aren't they?
Me and Laffa were having a really good battle on their left side. Me and him were just going back and forth, who would run over the other and who would tackle the other. And
We were the lowest short side team in the comp. If there was a short side, we'd mainly go the open side. We have a game plan, but sometimes players just see stuff.
I just remember standing at hooker, Josh Reynolds was at marker, and I seen him just look, and I just went.
And he goes away, they've got an extra man, Alex Johnston! Johnston has scored! Souths have got the first try, not by the old fella, but by the young bloke.
He saw me did a little basketball pass over to me.
That got me really piped up, man, I was so excited.
Now that's a hand in the play the ball.
Yeah, Dale Finucane there, that's almost sin-winnable. This is half a try presented to them. They're on top, they know that.
I remember looking up at the clock. I was bugging. I was just like, this is not normal. I think the speed of the game is what was getting me up. When Madge told me about how he wanted to play this game, he was going to let me go for as long as he could. And then he said, if you need a rest, like, don't worry about it. Sub me for Jason Clark. Kerry will go to hooker and attack, and then Clarkie will defend in the middle.
I filled in a hooker for 10 or 15 minutes in the middle of the game, which was not fun. Everything's just going so fast.
That's a hip toss.
That dogs of war mentality that kept getting brought up, that they'll just stay in the fight. And that's who they were.
George Burgess with a deep run back. George has lost the ball wide immediately. Out to Josh Morris. He's put down near the halfway line. As the siren sounds, there's a little bit of a dust up there, but nothing in it at all. Players head for the sheds.
How's the cheekbone? It's fine. It's gone. Good luck.
Like, you're sitting there and I could actually see his face slowly changing in front of me.
Obviously the concern was with Sam, and he went into the doctor's room and...
I didn't even know Sammy had hurt his face. I remember seeing him at half time telling the doc to F off, and I was just like, what's going on? Is he all right?
I wanted to feel the moment, I wanted to be in the moment. I didn't want to disconnect out of that, because I felt the moment I disconnected from it all was the moment the pain might take control. So I politely declined and said, I'm just going to take a seat and I'm going to sit and watch the halftime team talk. I want to be part of it. And he gave me a few risks that might happen, and I was willing to take the risk.
I think in the big games, you've got to be willing to be desperate, but we were desperate in the first 20 minutes. I remember just being spent from just defending our own line, and somehow, even at half time, like, we're still in the game.
I thought we were the better team for long periods in that first half. We just needed to weather the storm come the first 10 minutes coming out of half time. And
off season and your whole season for this last 40 minutes on grand final day. Everything you've trained, everything you've talked about has got to be executed at this period. There's no more team talks from the coach. There's no more sessions to get it right. Today's the day it's got to happen.
You only have so much you can give, and we were willing to go above and beyond.
Come away to Graham, out the back lane to Reynolds, and the chance for Tony Williams. Tony Williams has scored. Canterbury's first try.
We're coming back, we've got some belief here.
The ground, and Reynolds puts the kick up again, testing the man at the back. Perrin goes up above them, and it's a penalty game to Canterbury. Luke Keary was inside the 10. Now it's up to Reynolds, puts a kick in. Oh, well done, Sam Burgess.
We'd been going for 15 minutes. I was getting tired.
I was coming on for George, and I think they sent the message out to him saying, you're going to come off the next set.
And Sammy sprayed me actually just a couple sets before because I missed like a kick pressure or something. In my head, I was like, I'm going to do one big run and then I'll probably come off. I think it was like third or fourth tackle. I called a zag play.
I did a few plays like that with him, 20s, and George would be on my left, and if he called zag, he wanted me to go to the right side of the ruck to try and take one marker and then cut back across the ruck and give him the ball. So sort of take the markers out of play and he can get in behind the ruck or get a quick play to ball from A. So.
And it was my favourite play. I was like, all right, somewhere in the set we'll do a zag play to Appy.
2 tackles left on this set. Here it is coming back now for George Burgess. He's going all the way. Somebody stop him, and they did. But they stopped him too late. George Burgess bumping and thumping his way to the line.
I just got bombarded by the team and I was just like, felt like I was going to collapse.
So I was like, yeah, just leave him out there.
I'm just giving it to him about, you've just scored a try in the grand final. more expletives than that.
And I was like, Jesus, it's like, are you all right, mate?
Not that far away from it. Oh, big charge up the top. It'll be a shoulder, will it?
Shoulder charge on David Tyrrell from James Graham.
I'm getting hitting hard, just doing your best to grind forward. And I remember taking the run.
Brothers. Oh, Tyrrell, hammered by Graham. Graham has hammered Tyrrell. Was it a legal tackle?
Yeah, not a sight we ever want to see. Benny Cab out there and Dave Tyrrell, he's an unsung hero for the Rabbits. He's the only South Sydney player this season to have played in every game.
I woke up in the sheds, Doc was above me, he's like, oh Dave, how you going? I'm like, yeah, good. Do you know what day it is? No, I don't know what day it is. He's like, do you know where you are? I was like, yeah, I know where I am. Do you know what game it is? And I was like, I've got no idea. I think it's round 1. He's like, oh no, it's the grand final. And I was like, oh shit, we've got to go out there. He's like, well, you're not allowed to play anymore. And I was like, well, I figured that.
We got that turnover from Tyrrell, and then South just went into 5th gear.
I think that's when we really said, right, we're just going to put our foot down here and keep charging forward.
It's gone away now for the kick across from Reynolds. And up goes McQueen, he bats it down, Inglis kicks it, and after the ball is there. Oh yes, I think so!
I was like, yeah, I scored this. I knew straight away I scored this.
I'd pretty much known if I'd kicked that goal from the side, it was game over from there, so just focused everything on that kick.
This one, off the boot, it's coming around, it's perfect! It is red and green perfection!
It was just a roll-on effect from there.
The boys were running hard, were sort of just marching down the field. I was just going to have a run, and I think Reno and Kiri were both behind me, and Reno was like, just kick it.
And there's a little kick by John Sutton, weighted perfectly. Oh, one of the Canterbury players, and into the uprights. They've scored another try. It's Adam Reynolds. Reynolds has scored a try.
And I ran on that all around, I just jumped over because he probably too high for him. And then I was just like carrying on to the crowd by myself.
Knew that was the nail in the coffin, that try, that kick.
And a couple of Bulldog players consoling Sam Perrott, the man who went into the post. Michael Maguire making his way down. Some emotion out there now in the South Sydney playing group.
A few things I remember. One of those is just walking back after that try and the red and green in the crowd just going nuts knowing we've won it here. Talking to Greg on the way back, thinking, fuck yeah, we done it, brother, we fucking done it. And he's going, yeah. Just wait till that fucking ball's get kicked first. He's bringing me back down.
I said to someone the other day, they said, what do you used to do? I said, mate, I used to pass the ball to Greg.
26-6. And Kiri makes a dart. Gets the ball away to GI. GI's going to score. He's going to put another nail in the coffin. And the goanna crawls down to the northern end. South Sydney players leaping on top of the pile. Incredible scenes.
Seeing the crowd. Yeah. Beating the same crew, 2012, 13, and getting it done at the 14. Finishing that year off on that. Couldn't ask for anything better.
Look at the tears on the face of Sam Burgess. What an absolute monument. And we don't know the full story yet, do we?
I understood the weight of what we'd done. I understood it there and then in the moment. I felt it. I was out and about through the community during the week, during the year, leading up to the final. I spoke to a lot of people that I respected. I understood it. I just think maybe the emotion was a sense of achievement.
His final touch of the football in National Rugby League. Let's hope he comes back one day.
Well, I don't know that he'd be able to see the uprights.
Could have been out of this very early on. Oh, he's nearly got it. But he's got it all as far as we're concerned. Well done, South Sydney.
So South Sydney, 30 points to 6. Victorious after 43 years.
I heard the guys are like mayhem. And then trying to find my kids, experiencing that with them and sharing that moment doesn't get any better.
I've never seen so many grown men cry. Just shaking hands, everyone just saying thank you. It's been so long. And yeah, that sort of went to him. I was like, this actually means so much to so many people.
I want to thank you members and fans out there coming every week. Let's do this!
I remember after my speech I had the ring there and I just left it there. All I wanted to do was get my hands on that trophy.
South Sydney 2014 NRL Premiers!
And I thought about that for ages, being able to do that. And to finally get it done was crazy. It was definitely the best feeling ever, for sure.
As soon as we heard the verdict, I entrusted all our boys to be prepared, and they've done the right thing and sort of went on with their week. And to actually go to training and sort of witness everything they went through, it goes to show out there that they really performed well.
He was such an important part of that team. We wouldn't have had the success that we had without him. He didn't play in the game, but to me that doesn't matter. He's a premiership winning player.
I wouldn't change it. I would have loved to play in it, but I don't think it would have fanned out like that. We would have won 50-0. The crazy thing is, so Madge gave me his, I was about to give it back to him because
Bully played a massive part, as I said. I've already spoken about it and appreciated what Bully had done for the team, and he deserved that one.
And then I had a lineup. Terrell, Chris McQueen, Big Dog, Uppy, D Walks, they were lined up and I said, yeah, we'll give you ours. Like, nah, so I'll go away now. Before I got my ring off, Madge Russell comes up to me and gives me something else.
You wouldn't have missed soaking this up for the world, I'd imagine. And Russell Crowe, South Saviour, he made you a special ring, and yep, that's a nice bit of bling you got there. How precious is that?
So in 07, he brings in this Rabbitoh ring, sizes everyone up, and goes, oh, next time we win the GF, we'll get one. And the only one standing up from that year was Asado. Roy would have just retired, and Mira.
I was at the Crew knockout up there, so watched the second half, watching the boys run away with it. I see all the joy and excitement on all the boys. It was special.
Never forget that Mara got us there. It doesn't say he wasn't part of it, because he definitely was.
The Clive Churchill medal winner, Sam Burgess.
Sam deserved it, and it wasn't just that game as well. He played through a lot of injuries all year.
It was written for Sam, I'm so happy for Sam that he got it. If I'd received it, I would have given it to Sam.
Sam is the absolute champion. He's got the send-off that he deserves. He's a legend, he'll go down in history, mate. Awesome.
It's hanging up in Russell's pub on the farm, and every now and then he'll get it down and George will try it on.
Thinks it should have been his, which is probably right.
John, shades of 1970 when you saw Sam?
Just wonderful stuff, it was a great win. The boys all played so well, and they were never going to be beaten tonight. But the big fella here, he's just absolutely blown them out of the water. He doesn't look real bright at present with his eye the way it is, but he's played through and he's come through, and we wish him all the best and his teammates.
Sats and I, we had a good relationship. There's a bit of similarities, I think, in what we brought to the place. The way the day turned out, you really couldn't have written it any different, really. It's so funny how these things work. I just know that he was proud to be there and share the moment, so God bless Sats, and what a great man. I'm so glad he was there to witness the day.
I'd also like to congratulate Sals on taking home the trophy today. He's played outstanding, but most of all I'd like to thank the fans, the both Bulldogs, Sals and everyone else. You make this game great, and without you we'd have nothing. So thanks for everyone for turning up today. We do appreciate it as players.
Rugby league is a made-up game with made-up rules, with made-up clubs. Like the Bulldogs and South Sydney are made up. As much as people talk about them being part of their DNA, they're made up. But this game means so much to so many people. This made-up game with made-up rules, with made-up clubs, means so much. And people are willing to do just about anything in the pursuit of victory for those clubs and to win this made-up trophy for a made-up league called the NRL. And they make up this grand final and they make up playoffs. But it means so much to people. And Sam could have lost a lot that day, but he was willing to do it for that. Sam and I had a really nice moment as well on the respective Mad Mondays. Yeah, he took an hour out of his celebrations to just have a one-on-one beer over FaceTime. He was obviously moving to rugby union and we'd had a great time sharing the field together.
We were all in my apartment, the whole squad were back at my place, so we'd taken the trophy there and I found a little quiet corner and we sat on FaceTime with each other for maybe 30-40 minutes and had a couple of beers, and I just wanted to leave it in a great place with him and I because it did bring the best out of me, James, and I'd like to think that I got him, the best out of him when we played. We drove each other to, higher standards, so for that I'm really thankful for James.
Played together with England, drove each other there and gone against each other and see you soon kind of moment.
Just sitting there in my locker, just having a really deep brief, just really taking the moment in. And Kathy walks in and her and I just sitting in my locker, with the trophy. It was awesome. Couldn't believe it, right? It was like just happened. I see those two iconic moments. South Sydney's been going through a drought, they're winning that there, and Kathy Freeman winning the gold medal in 2000. And them both being there in the same room.
Let's fucking remember this right now, man, because no one can ever take this away. We'll be here in fucking 10 years' time, we'll be in 20 years' time. We'll see you in 4 years, We'll see you in 4 years, Sammy. See you in 4 years. He's number one, baby. I'm number one in Sydney. Some fucking gold. Let's sing the fucking song. Come on.
Remember getting on the bus, heading back to South Juniors and just seeing the sea of people, of fans, and we were like rock stars.
Fast forward and we ended up here at the juniors, where literally in the first meeting with Keith, and that was 3 years prior, where I had really no idea where I was going. I'm thinking, the big club and we'll see what happens, and next thing all of a sudden I'm standing back and all the players are leaning over the balcony with thousands of people there in the car park, and it was just one big party.
I was literally emotionally done. Had a few beers back at South that night at the juniors, and I just went home. I was done. I put so much in, not only into that there, but into myself as well. Setting out a goal and getting to a certain point and you achieve that, well, it's like, just wait, just go on there, you just feel flat. And that's how I felt.
Remember drinking that night and leaving in the early hours in the morning and going back to where me and Sam lived at his place, partying there. And
then we had the bus rocked up outside of Sam's house. And we had to get on a bus. Some of us still in our bloody kit.
And then someone saying that we had to get on a bus and do a parade, and I was like, man, I'm not doing that. Like I'm having a party. I'm not really that keen to go hop on a bus.
Benny Teo was just so stubborn. I'm like, mate, we've got to get to the juniors by like 10 o'clock and it's 9:30 and we're in Darlinghurst. And the conversation you're trying to have with him, I don't need to be told that I'm a champion. I know I'm a champion. And I'm like, Benny, I don't want to go over this, mate. We're going to go. We even said to Ella, can you drive the bus past Darlinghurst just to pick up Teo, because there's no way I'm going to be able to get into the juniors. And Ella was like, you tell him to get to the juniors, blah, blah, blah. And I said, pick us up on the way at Randwick. And he's like, deal. But don't be intoxicated when I said, nah, he's fine.
think I had a bottle of whiskey and Coke on me. Shane Richardson took off me, and
Richo was like, "What's that?" And he's like, "Coke." And then Richo had one and spat it out.
As soon as they got on the bus, they were blind. I said, "Guys, you're no chance of doing this."
We went down to the Harbour Bridge for some reason. I think they climbed the Harbour Bridge. They dropped me off at a pub down on the corner underneath the bridge, and I was there with Luke Burgess. We just drunk there while some guys did that, because there was no way I was going to be allowed on the...
He was over the limit by a mile. And in fact, the machine blew up, I heard, so.
We had a WhatsApp group, and Benny Teo was sitting over at the Opera House, and he was sending the video. "I don't need to go on the bridge. I know I'm a champion. Look at them all up there, big heroes, you know, blah, blah, blah. But I know deep down, I know Benny, he'd be burning wanting to be up there, but because he couldn't, he had to make another light of it." And even I remember on the back of the bus, you know, him saying, "If it wasn't for me last week in the semi-final, you know, we wouldn't be sitting here right now."
Yeah, I never got that bottle of whiskey back either. I was Shane Richardson, so.
When that final hooter went, I sort of just took a moment, had a mad time, but all I wanted to do was party. Yeah. We were blown up too, because all the coaches and all the stuff got a boat party. And we're like, "We want a fucking boat party." And then we got on the boat party.
While we were on there, everyone sort of started being real frantic. No one knew what had happened, and apparently Dill had lost his ring, and we couldn't believe it. It was just throwing a chicken bone into the ocean.
After Dylan Walker lost his premiership ring in the harbour yesterday, the others weren't taking any chances while up on the bridge, keeping a strong hold on their prized possessions.
I told a lie, so many lies, about how I lost that ring. It was a chicken wing, it was food, but I'll be honest, it was a dart. I flicked it and the ring was on that finger, and then it went sunk, and I was like, fuck. It broke my heart. I was crying solidly for 5 minutes. Let's be realistic, 5 minutes of solid crying. And all the boys said, "Don't worry, we'll get you a new one." I go, "It's not the fucking same." And then we went out to the chief. "Oh, where's your ring?" I was like, "Oh, fuck." But then again, I'm like, "Oh, fuck, who cares? I'll just party on. I'll chase the dragon until I forget about it."
First time I've been booked in to do it before, but nearly got around to it, so.
How did you feel on top of the world?
Yes, you can say that.
I was just on Instagram the next day, like my followers had gone up by like 60,000 or something.
Yeah, so we all went and got some tattoos, and I just thought it'd be a fun idea to sort of just G everyone up and put a stencil on.
And he put it on, I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's do that," put it on, and we were just mucking around, having a beer at the pub. And
I remember posting like that photo of Adam Reynolds with the tattoo on his eye.
bang, within an hour, it was on the news. And my mum even rang me going, "That better not be real." I was like, "Mum, it's just a stencil." So.
Had a journo from the States ringing me, trying to compare it to like a Mike Tyson tattoo or something.
Must have been maybe the Tuesday or Wednesday after the grand final. Adam Reynolds goes, "Oh, I've messaged my tattoo artist." He said, "If we want to come over, they've got a couple of artists there and we can all get tattoos." I think there were 3 artists there, and it was just whoever's next available, just. And I ended up getting one here, and it's a difficult spot to tattoo. When you move, the skin stretches and that sort of thing, but I don't think she did a good job of it in the first place. I mean, I think the lines were rough as guts. The ears were too round, like it just wasn't done well. But because of where it was, to show people, I'd lift my arm up, which would stretch the skin. So it would go from being the Rabbitoh, which you think is sort of that shape, to being a bit more square. And it got the nickname the guinea pig. Wore that for a few years, but I ended up getting it covered with a big piece there. And then at the bottom of that piece, I got a new rabbit, so it looks much better. It's a lot less guinea pig-ish.
Tommy, go on.
I need a speak for the video.
How long would it take? Will it up to?
It's an hour and a
What
half.
about
Got
boys?
It's like,
nah,
it's gonna be better than that.
Yeah. All right, there you go.
Cheers, boys. Thanks for coming in, man. I'll be ugly. You know, everyone's happy. It's a great feel, I guess. I'm wearing my ring too. I'm going to wear it through surgery as well. They said I can wear it. They're going to strap it on, so probably still not even sunk in just yet. You know, it's been an enjoyable couple of days, even though I've got a bit of a messed up face. I knew straight away that something was wrong, and then I felt it.
and I could feel like a bone sticking out here in my eye. She can't quite see because of the swelling, but when I first did it I could actually feel the hole in my face, so I knew something was broken, and my face went all like numb down inside here. Troy Thompson came out and he said, think of John Sattler. He said, mate, if you can get through this game, you're going to be a hero. He said that to me in the first half, and I was in a bit of shock too. It was really strange. I did an interview at half time. As I was walking off, I'd just seen on my phone, and when Brad Fittler approached me, I was really like scared and in shock, and then I swore in an interview, which I'd never really done before. I went and had a look in the mirror at half time, and my face is pretty messed up, but doctor said, look mate, it's your call. If you get another hit in your eye, you might cause a bit of damage, and you know, it might be a loss of sight. He said, you've definitely broke your cheekbone, but I just said I'm just going to get on with it. Mark, my surgeon, you know, he's amazed at my face after seeing all the scans and everything. So he decided to make like a 3D version, like this actual life size. And because of the fractures, especially this part of my face here, that's what made surgery quite complicated. So it's compressed inwards here. There's a crack straight across there and down through my eye socket there. You can see it's quite misshaped, and that compressed in there, so underneath there's no space. They had to pull this part of my eye socket back and out, and as he did it, it fractured quite a lot of my eye bone there, and made quite a lot of fragmentation, so they had to put a mesh. There's an L plate down here, there's 2 plates across there, and 2 plates across there. They put in 23, 24 screws and 5 plates. This one's like smooth and round, like in good shape, whereas this one, like it's jolted in there and it's out there and in there. Got another hit and anything like sort of splintered up into my eye, I lost my eye, so I'll keep it forever, and I guess it was something to show the grandkids and when I'm old and ugly. When I went to get my scan after the game, by the time we'd sobered up, I came out of the CT scan and the radiologist came out. He said, oh my God, you must be in so much pain. I said, yeah, it's pretty bad. He said, I've never seen a nose like that. It's like, mate, it's my eye socket. It's my face that's sore. I said, the nose is actually perfectly fine, but he couldn't believe the damage in the nose as well.
Now is our chance to celebrate how truly global the greatest game continues to be. Our next inductee will join the class of 2024 as a leader and a winner. The powerful Englishman's legacy was cemented in the 2014 Grand Final when he defied a fractured cheekbone to lead the Rabbitohs to a drought-breaking.
All right, ready?
We're recording. I landed yesterday. I went straight to grab a tuxedo from Bondi Junction, and the first block I bumped into was Greg Inglis. And I said, you at the dinner tomorrow night? So I thought if he's not in the Hall of Fame and I am, I'd step back and give it to him because he was amazing. So it's great that Greg is in as well, and we get inducted at the same time.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Sam Burgess.
I came here as a young 21-year-old man to leave my mark on the game. I believed in the sport, I loved the sport. My mum's in the room. I grew up in a rugby league family. Both mother and father played. We lost our father when I was 17. On our father's gravestone we wrote, as young men, your legacy will live strong through us, Dad. And you know, my brothers and I, my mum, we had a group chat and we shared that with this news that, well, this is great that the legacy may live on. So we stayed true to our word as young men, and long may it continue.
Well, the Burgess name is officially into the NRL Hall of Fame. Thank you so much and congratulations, Sammy.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
There's a try for Turner. He's been a revelation, the kid. Marky. Well, the Kuna Barabran kid. Kyle Turner. It's all rhyming, isn't it? Kyle, the Kuna Barabran kid, gets a double. And he's been great.
Sorry, sweetheart.
That's right, yeah, the debut jersey we've got.
Just hang on. Yeah, just so they don't slide.
I literally had a conversation with Kai when he was young. He was 14 years old at the time, and he'd actually played 5 grand finals and lost every one. And I just said, when you're playing with the Bunnies, honey, you're going to win a premiership with the Rabbitohs. It was always about the Rabbitohs, all of us growing up.
When we recruited Kyle, everybody wanted him. You know, he was this tall, athletic, strong back row who starred in all the rep matches. And those sort of players we never got because we wouldn't pay the money that the Roosters or anybody else would pay to bring him to the club. But the recruitment guy at the time found out that his father was a massive Rabbitohs fan.
Now there was 3 at the time, which were South, Roosters and Newcastle Knights. But the Roosters, yeah, Jamie Mathieu, he kept coming around, he kept showing up at games and, you know, talking to us, and he was a lovely bloke, I really liked him. He came down and he was reading the contract to us, what Kyle will be getting and all that sort of thing. And I had to say to him, yeah, look, Jamie, I really like you and you're a lovely bloke, but if you're with anyone but the Roosters, you might be half a chance, yeah. We actually left it up to Kyle, you know, we didn't say, look, this is the best deal, this is where you should go or anything like that. Because in actual fact, South had the worst deal. They made the worst offer to him out of the 3 clubs.
He just said, Mum and Dad, it has to be Souths. And we said, yeah, well, we wanted to leave the choice up to you, but...
When I got to the under-20s team, Kyle was our captain, Cooner boy, country boy, quiet as, but just had this physical presence about him. I remember speaking to Benny Garden, he's like, mate, this kid is a first grader, he's going to be here for a long time. Madge used to make us young boys do massage at 6 p.m. at night. We finished training at 2, so myself, Kyle, Dylan Walker, AJ would just be in there playing ping pong for hours and hours and hours. We all knew everything about each other.
The time between we would finish training and do our recovery, me and him would go down to Woolies, which is across the road, and so you get a snack and eat out on the stands while we wait and just talk about life and what we wanted to do. So
he was just real kickback, but he had a personality where he knew what he had, if that makes sense.
I remember one day, there was a few boys drinking and he was like, if I drink, do you reckon you drive my car home? And he had a club sport at the time, cracker car, just I didn't really know how to drive manual, but I knew that I wanted to drive that car. They actually went out and I took his car home. I just remember just trying to shift the gears in the car. Just sort of redlining, and I was not hitting the clutch properly. I was grinding his club sport and he just pulled. I didn't tell him this, obviously.
Sato, we used to carry on the big show used to go, well, it's the big dog. I think he liked it, Kyle. That was his, little nickname.
Yeah, me and Big Dog were both injured, started 2015. Flew me and Big Dog up there, I think it could have been Anzac round that year. We ended up going out for dinner with some of the staff. Me and him, we had a wild night, just up drinking. So me and Big Dog had to get up for the dawn service and we were so drunk still. And then the boys weren't arriving until that afternoon, so we went back to our room and pretty much slept all day. And the boys got in at 2 and we had a shower, got up and then we had to go train.
And this is the youngster coming on, Kyle Turner, who's played juniors for South and New South Wales Cup. He's on debut, a youngster from Coonabarabran.
It was when we'd gone down, literally to the dressing sheds, with I think it was his first game.
Big Dog was one of my best mates. He got his start when I was injured, and we joked about it all week, because he knew if I didn't play, he'd play. And so I joked, mate, give me your matchy and I'll pull out of the game, because I still thought I was going to play. And then I ended up getting ruled out. He got pulled into the team, and then he sat on the bench for 80 minutes, but then he didn't end up getting on. But then the following week I was still out, so then he got his start. And
he was one of those younger ones that I sort of spotted early on, and I thought, there's something special about this young kid coming through.
Every time we did contact sessions, he was ripping in and...
He was such a big part of our team, especially defensively, how good he was at just making sure that he wrapped the ball up and his first contact was second to none.
Anyone that ran at him got folded. We used to call him Velcro. Yeah, Velcro, latches on.
Hit and stick king.
He just would wrap up whoever he tackled.
He just wouldn't be able to get it out of his grip.
Yeah, I had to push him and every time I pushed him, he went to another level, and he went to another level, and then he ended up playing in the grand final. And
Love that, I love that.
Just about this week.
I think they're just telling us to enjoy the week. Chances like this don't come around every so often. You've got to take it while it's here, and I'm sure we'll get nervous before the game, but until then we're just going to take it all in.
I was going home to Coonabarabran at the time, just to visit a family member who wasn't well. I'd gone home and I went out to Rabbitoh Mission, which is now his home. I'd gone out and just sat and just grasped what was about to happen. Asked them to look over Kai, and he said to me, "Mum, can you bring me back some dirt from Burra?" So I said, "I promise you I will, baby." Had my prayers and said, "Okay, let's do this." Got to Sydney the day of the grand final. We were just about to walk out the door at the time. He rang me and said, "Mum, I forgot the dirt, Can you bring the dirt from Burra?" "Okay, baby, we're on our way now. We just left." No sooner I'd just walked in and he's called me, "Mum, are you here? Are you here?" "Yes, baby, I'm here. I'm on my way down now." When I handed it to him, just said, "We love you so much. We're so proud of you. You go out and do your thing, baby. You got this. You got this." He just sat there and had his moment and rubbed his hands in the dirt. Just that is a special and very, very sacred memory.
Kyle Turner.
We were all in tears. Family had rushed to be out by our side, to be with us. So we're all crying, but we were looking, all of us. Where is he? Where is he? And then he just stepped through. He stepped through the crowd and he just looked at me and his father and his brother and sister, and he just pointed to me and he pointed to his father and he went, "You. We were a mess." Even though we weren't standing with each other, that moment will stay with me and with us for the rest of our lives.
He was such a good person, such a good family man, so good for his community, so good for the Indigenous community, and I will never ever forget those years we had together. He was such a big part of that 2014 team. Ended up starting in the back row that year. It was like a rock for us. He's forever in my heart. He's
very quiet, very humble guy, but when it was time to work, he was get there and get it done.
He worked his way to a premiership. He deserved everything that he got.
Big Dog got his spot because what he did for the team and what he brought, he'll always be remembered for that.
And as the years went on, he saw more layers and layers of him peeled back, and we got to see more of him. He's just such a happy bloke, great to be around, and a little bit cheeky on the side.
But I know he'll be smiling down on us. I can see the sun shining in from here from time to time, and I do feel him with us. Love you, Big Dog, and I miss you.
You'd towel him up and give him a really tough conditioning session, and he'd always come up and say, "Thanks, Tomo, for the session." He was always appreciative of what the club did for him.
A guy who was selfless, highly coachable, wanted to get better.
I never come in and be talking to him about a game that was a 2 out of 10. Big Dog didn't play those.
I always say there's only very few players in my life that I'd ever let marry my daughter. Clarkie and Kyle would be in that category of 5, and they couldn't tell you a lie. They say, "Kyle, this has happened. Kyle, this is not a place to say no comment. You can't say no comment." All right, we shouldn't have done that, Richo. He was that guy.
His little laugh was so infectious. He was so quiet, but just so loving as well. The other side of what he had to face as well was his neck problem. He had to come back and wear his neck brace.
I got very close to Big Dog after he had his quite serious neck injury, probably halfway through his career. Ended up having a disc replacement in his neck and went through an extensive rehab process and had to wear a neck brace. I think he was the first NRL player to come back and play following this type of procedure, which was brave enough in itself.
Barely spoke up, but when he spoke up, he's like, "Oh, okay, sweet. Make sure you talk some more." He was a man.
I didn't really have to do that with Big Dog. Big Dog was just plain sailing. Cool as a cucumber.
He had so much talent, He was a very special player.
What a champion young fella. He will be missed, Big Dog.
Honestly, genuine, friendly, humble person. Grateful to obviously had some sort of part in his life and missed the big fella.
a kind-hearted person, and you just knew he would do anything for the team or anything for you if you needed something. And I know one day we'll meet again, brother. So, big dog, always love.
Top bloke. He'd laugh at your jokes even if they're not funny. Ask him to do something to help you out and he would.
Yeah, Dave Tyrrell got married this year and I was his best man at the wedding, so even though I was in England, the coach was generous enough to give me that time off. So I flew back from England. I was only back for 1 week and went to Tyrrell's wedding to be his best man, and Big Dog came to the wedding. So that was the last time I got to see him. The last thing I said to him was, "Mate, we love you. We love you, man." I was so grateful that I got just that last moment with him, but yeah, I miss him.
My family through and through South, they love South, so I really had no other club as to choose going to. You see how proud people are wearing the South colours and how much they look up to you, young kids and that, how much they look up to us as role models.
I think about him every single day. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about him. Oh, I wish he was still here. But I'll see him again one day, you know. I've got to say I don't shed the tears as much as I was, you know, but you know, they're still there, they still come around, you know what I mean? There's little things that trigger them, and to be honest, I wouldn't have it any other way. It just shows that, you know, how much love that we have, you know what I mean? How special he was, you know, and he was a special kid. He's achieved more than a lot of people can.
He taught me about unconditional love. He taught me about resilience, about courage, about rising above adversity. Irrespective of what you go through, you can achieve anything. Anything and everything is possible. Just believe in yourself. And if you're surrounded by people that believe in you, anything is possible. Be your kind, loving, beautiful self. And that legacy is what's left behind. Just who he was and how he carried himself and how that will live on through his babies and through us, through every single person that he met in his life, and especially with his journey at the South Sydney Rabbitohs. Madge, you brought out the best in him. We saw that very clearly, but it was the people that he was surrounded by. Thank you too, because you brought out the best in him as well too. You allowed him to shine as well. We're so proud to be his parents, so proud to watch his journey, and we will forever cry but smile and laugh because of those amazing, beautiful memories that he's left us with.
From the right to the left, and Turner goes straight through the middle and scores adjacent to the posts. Turner for the line, he's over with momentum. There's an opportunity right outside. Reynolds knows up. Turner will score. Rabbitohs are in front. Sutton. Oh, Turner has gone through a huge hole. It all became so simple in the end. And Turner has scored for the Rabbitohs. Here, and here comes another try for Turner. And they get the ball away, and going over to score is Turner. Kyle Turner, the youngster from Coonabarabran.
The biggest hugs. That was Kai.
Whenever we get together now, I think it's going to be a time for, you know, celebration of the achievement, but also, you know, a reflection and celebration of his life.
He was a very, very special guy, Kyle, and I know the broader Rabbitohs family loved him, but none more so than his teammates and his coaching staff. He developed a couple of memorabilia pieces. Some we're going to auction for the old boys. One piece we're not going to auction, and that's a piece we had made for his family. So I'm going to ask the entire 2014 squad and entire 2014 coaching squad, if you could come on stage. I want to get a photo with this piece for his family so that we can give the family the photo along with the piece. So come on up, guys. What a very special squad this is. You can see the love, you can see the camaraderie, and you can still see Kyle is very much still part of that.
Anything else that you think you might want to add?
Yeah, go South.
It's a sad weekend, but the action is underway, and South's looking for 4 straight wins. The Broncos looking to raise an effort. Almost at will tonight, and he runs Latrell onto it, but he's lost the ball. Oh no, there's a penalty. They're offside.
Tom, you're not back, mate, and you've interfered, broken down play.
He's no good.
He's tore a bicep. Okay.
Saw
No, let's go. Is that Ben Tia?
Yeah.
It's funny, I went to rugby union and I ended up coming back because of COVID, and my last game I played was versus South Sydney at that ground where we won the grand final. And I tore my bicep off the bone, and I remember being on the field in that moment, realising that that was it. That was the last play of my career. That was my last year, and I was going to need surgery, you just know. I come off in the dead ball line, and walking up the sideline, all your thoughts are going through your mind about your whole career. And then got like a standing ovation from the South fans, so that's how it ended, But I think I was pretty lucky to finish it there and get that moment.
An incredible way to finish off your time here at South Sydney.
Yeah, look, a lot of hard work. We've got a great squad who help us prepare, and for me and Sammy finishing up today, what a way to go out.
And there's not much that me now as a retired footballer wouldn't give to have the ability to just go out there and do it all over again. At the time, in the moment, you just live in it, and then it finishes and you're like, kind of miss the anxiety, the nerves, the pressure, feeling busted after it. Losing, feeling like you've lost the grand final. Kind of miss caring about something that much. Yeah.
Still to this day, see South Sydney fans up here. Still love that 2014 one. I think we all do.
Obviously, winning a grand final is the biggest thing that you want to achieve, and playing the game, so it'd be number one, I reckon, for sure.
I've watched it plenty of times, and then I've watched highlights. I watch them back thinking about what other people feel when they watch those games. When Ren scored his try and we ran over to the crowd, when we scored the last try and we're walking back and the crowd is going nuts, they're the moments that I watch games for. It's easy to forget how special rugby league is and how much it brings people together.
If I'm ever having a bad day or anything like that, I just think about that moment and it cheers me up and makes me feel grateful for what we had and what we built and the success that we had. And I still have people coming up to me to this day to tell me about how they felt on that day, and that's a testament to how special it was.
I'd walk around East Gardens and have old ladies come up crying, and you'd hear the stories about how they had someone in hospital that were about to pass and they just wanted to see Bunnies win a GF.
Pretty surreal, even now, I look back at my career and Jesus, I don't know if I was that good of a player, but I worked really hard to get to where I was and achieve what I did. So South came from not even being in the competition to now Premiership winning NRL side is crazy. We're now part of that.
That was a dream come true, I guess. It's amazing to be part of history for this club in a good way like that.
Yeah, to do it with the group we had and with the players that I grew up watching, and it was such a special time. And
it's tough to watch, and but in the end, it was great to see South win another premiership.
Being in the dressing room after the game, that banter in there, it's the one thing I miss most about playing professional sport is just that stuff. I've got a lot of memories that I'll take with me forever, and that grand final day was the cherry on the top.
Such a weird one. I said it before, like I just feel like an imposter in terms of like the game. I only got put in the last game because of Isaac being out, and he was the one that sort of built the club up. So
you take it all for granted, man. Like it's pretty crazy. You're 19 years old and you're going out to dinner with Sam Burgess, Greg Inglis, Ben Tia, and you're going, fuck, this is my life now. It's what it is, and it's pretty flattering to know at that age those older guys took all of us in. You get older, you see young guys come in now, and they just want to be around, and you sort of try to do that when you go through your career.
I came to the club 10 years ago. There was a lot of angry faces and disappointed people about the way they've been treated and the way where South Sydney were. I'm so proud today to look out over this and see all this wonderful, wonderful happiness that will continue on for another 100 years. Well done.
It's just that all the people who'd sort of sacrificed their lives to win it, like, really salt of the earth, working class people had kept Souths alive for years and years and years and years. And for us to be able to do that for them, and I don't think they ever thought that we'd ever actually win it again, but they just were never going to give up in the club. It was a true believers grand final.
It's the only grand final I've won, so I'm forever grateful for that opportunity and to get the job done. And looking back at it now, obviously being in another two and losing them, I know how hard they are to get to, let alone win. And to do it with such a good group of boys, how close we'd come the year before, and to fight our way back and to overcome that and do something special for foundation clubs, always going to be at the highest achievements.
Because I think the thing I remember the most is the people, the group of players that we had and the staff that we had. And
I'd been part of premierships in Melbourne, and to sort of have what happened down there made this so much sweeter as well. In 2012, we'd had a son born in Sydney as well, so he's South Sydney through and through, and till he dies, he still tells me that to this day. And
I was very fortunate to work with him, and so very blessed. I've got to thank you, Madge, and Kurt and the other staff that we work with. Really enjoyed my time. Love to do it again, every minute of it.
As a coach, I'd been to 7 prelims and got knocked out. A lot of people say it was a relief. That was my first feeling, but then euphoria, really.
I'd love to just get you could see all your memories from that whole week on a video, because sometimes it gets a bit hazy, but yeah, it was amazing, and yeah, something I'll cherish forever.
You're there with the team that did it, but just to see the people, the community that you did it for, and how much it meant to them, how much they care, it is a feeling that you can't replace ever. I don't care what I do after, that feeling is the best.
When I was a kid and South would win 2 or 3 games a year, and there'd be no one at the grounds, and they were everyone's second team. And then to see it actually happen, I've never seen it in my lifetime. And you see people who were coming to the games and win 3 games all year, and they're still in the crowd supporting our club. They could never take that away from our fans after that too. They'd been through so much that they deserved that victory that night.
Early on in my career at South, I really wanted to do something and win a comp, and I'm pretty sure it was my 229th game of first grade. It was a long road to get there, and my family's from here. I live here, I've grew up here. It's what I wanted to do, and to get it done in 2014 was just meant everything to me and my family. So a very special moment.
We all have a dream and a goal, in which we did achieve in 2014, and what a crew to do with. To get there was a hard road. It was a lot of hurt, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, and I think I came out and said it the first few years, maybe first 2 years I was there, that I wanted to win a premiership here. And if we did, I'm going to retire. But I just retired a few years later. That's all. Yeah.
In any course of victory, there is a price to pay. I think throughout the whole year, there have been many players paid many prices, many different moments, and just my moment, so be it, was then. And to be such a big part of it, I'm really proud of it, and not one regret, not whatsoever. I would do it all again if it meant we could go back to that moment.
I'm extremely humbled and very, very privileged to be a part of something so special and as large as what this time of life is all about.
There were so many people that had gone through so much more in this club than what we had, and we were able to go the ride, but it all just bottled itself into one, and when the success came, you could actually feel it in the stadium. Well, I definitely could, because you could walk around and you could see people crying because they actually never ever thought they could be a part of something that's so special like that. Gee, I'm so appreciative of being a part of something so great.
I've been playing for 8 or so years now, and come up short plenty of times, and sometimes wondered maybe it's not for me, maybe I'm never going to get it, but to share it with these guys. And I remember sitting down with Madge at his house when he wanted to sign me, and it was a pivotal part in my career. I'm just happy to be here.
I suppose, I think I've said it all, like Madge was it was full on. It was full on 2 years, and there was not much left, in the tank for me, to be honest. Madge asked so much, of me and everyone daily, weekly. It was always like more, you wanted more, get better, more, I need more. And I sort of felt at one stage like I couldn't keep going at that rate, maybe live up to it. And then that was in the process of thinking about rugby, and it's probably what pushed me to go. But I'm a coach now. So when I look back now, I'm so grateful for what Madge did for me. Sometimes you just need someone to push you to places that you didn't know existed. And he definitely did that with me. I take a lot of that stuff. I'm in my own coaching journey, but I've also got to be myself too. So I can't take my guys on army camps because it's wrong. How can I do that? When you look back now and you're happy and you get to be involved, in things where they call you a Premiership winner. All you can say is thank you to Madge for that. I'm a happy guy from now on for the rest of my life, so yeah.
Don't be sad.
Tio is over. Tio has scored. The Clive Churchill medal winner, Sam Burgess. I want to thank the fans for a cracking year that I'll never forget. He gets around 1, 2, 3, 4 Greg Inglis, and he's still going. This mighty fullback for the South Sydney Rabbitohs. What a career! Greg Inglis, you superstar.
Tapped back by Reddy, was backwards. Clark picks it up. Down. A good call and a good run. Over to Tio, beautifully picked up by Inglis, gets away to both champions. Champion for the line. Home champion and scored for South Sydney. Manly are complaining. He gets the ball away. Torres out. Ball down to go. He'll score. Rob Clooney for an outstanding clearance. Big Greg Inglis on to Coruscant. Coruscant to Reynolds. Reynolds with a little kick. He thinks he's found his target, has he? I think he has. Alice Johnston has a score. He come away quickly and they look for a minute again. Spears through. An uncustomary try for Ben Lowe. George Burgess bumps away from Williams. George Burgess. Unstoppable. They get out of the way with this fellow and Reynolds hits it. Referees are looking at it. The arm goes up and he's kicked a drop goal. Here is. That's on from Isaac Luke and gone on to Wildar and he goes over to put it down and score. South Sydney with the length of the field try. Isaac Luke out to Luke Keary. Now Chris McQueen sticks the arm out. He had the foot weaving magic on the previous try and now he scores it himself. Dave Tyrrell scores only the third time of his career. He's done it again. No, he hasn't. Dave Tyrrell. The chase play. Oh, good shot. That'll be Isaac, I think. Yeah, it's Isaac, the number 9. Luke. Luke by Surnay. Here comes the kick. We look for
to Keary. We look for Tafua. Oh, Lottie to Keary. Lottie to Keary. He's gone through the air like Superman. Like Walker and Arthur. Now Reynolds puts it in. Here comes a try. Keary has scored. The ball's gone away to Merritt. Merritt's got it. There it is. That's history for Nathan Merritt. He becomes the highest try scorer for South Sydney. Back to Tom Burgess. He'll reach out. He might have got this down. Burgess has reached out and put it on the line.
Goes inside and look at this. Dylan Walker. He's so good. I love him. Dylan Walker. He's a little ripper.
And I want to thank you members and fans out there for coming every week. Let's do this.
To lift the roof of ANZ Stadium, Johnson as the Proven Southern Trophy. 43 years of pain come to an end.